When a company is in continuous losses, what the company should do then? Liquidate? Is that the only option left out? Or there are other possibilities to revive back from losses? Well, that's what you're gonna be learning in today's video. Hello and welcome. I'm Sayeda Wajida Hussaini, back with a new lesson. So keep watching till the end. When a company has been making losses for a number of years, the financial position does not depict a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company and shows higher net worth than what the real net worth should be. Such a situation brings the need for reconstruction. Reconstruction is a process by which affairs of a company are reorganized by revaluation of assets, reassessment of liabilities, and by writing off the losses. Reconstruction may take place as either internal reconstruction or external reconstruction. What do you mean by internal reconstruction? It means the reduction of capital to cancel any paid up share capital which is lost or unrepresented by available assets. This is generally resorted to write off the past accumulated losses of the company. Hence, internal reconstruction is a process where internally financial arrangements are made so that the company can revive back from losses without liquidating the existing company. Whereas external reconstruction means the winding up of an existing company and registering itself into a new one after a rearrangement of its financial position. For properly deploying the process of internal reconstruction, following methods are used. The first one is alteration of share capital. According to Section 61 of the Companies Act 2013, a limited company can, if authorized by its Article of Association, alter the capital clause of its Memorandum of Association in any of the following ways, like subdivision of shares, consolidation of shares, or by conversion of shares to stock. Then, Section 48 of the Companies Act 2013 provides that when a company has issued different classes of shares with different rights, like rights as to dividend, voting rights, etc., any of such rights may be altered with the consent of the holders. Reduction of share capital is followed when a company has been suffering losses continuously for a longer period of time. The company can reduce capital by employing one of the following methods. Reduce the liability of its shares in respect of the share capital not paid. Cancel any paid up share capital which is lost or is unrepresented by available assets, or pay off any paid up share capital which is in excess. A scheme of compromise and arrangements is an agreement between a company and its members and outside liabilities when the company faces financial problems. Such an arrangement involves sacrifice by shareholders, debenture holders, or creditors. The last one is surrender of shares. Under this method, shares are subdivided into shares of smaller denominations. And to facilitate capital reorganization, shareholders are made to surrender a part of their holdings. Such surrendered shares are usually utilized. The portion of the shares surrendered but not reissued are to be cancelled. In genuine cases, a company is permitted to reduce its share capital in any of the following ways: where any paid up share capital is being reduced without reducing the liability. For example, 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid is being reduced to 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, rupees 8 paid up. Here, the face value remains the same, only paid up value is reduced. That means the shareholders lost their 2 rupees. And again, in the future, they are called upon to pay rupees 2 because that 2 rupees is still pending. Here, there is a double loss to the shareholder. Whereas, in this case, paid up share capital is reduced, reducing the liability on the shares. For example, 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid is being reduced to 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 8 each fully paid. So the shareholders lost their 2 rupees, but they don't have to pay any amount in the future because face value has been changed. So there is only single loss to the shareholders. Section 66 of the Companies Act 2013 lays down the procedure in respect of reduction of share capital. A company cannot reduce its share capital unless it is authorized by its articles. However, if the articles does not permit capital reduction, they may be altered by a special resolution to enable the company to reduce its share capital. Reduction of share capital is unlawful except when sanctioned by the court. The company must get the permission of the court before starting the process of capital reduction. We will see now what are the accounting entries in connection to internal reconstruction. First one is when the face value of the shares is changed. It is treated as change in the category of the share capital. The journal entry is share capital account is debited with the paid up value of old shares, and share capital account is credited with the paid up value of the new shares, and the difference is to be credited to the capital reduction or reconstruction account. All the gains on account of reconstruction is to be credited to the capital reduction account, and the losses has to be debited to the capital reduction account. On the other hand, when the face value of the shares is not changed on reduction of the share capital, it does not result in the change of the category of the share capital. It remains the same. The journal entry is share capital account debit to capital reduction account with the amount of reduction of capital. The creditors and debenture holders may agree to accept less amount in lieu of final settlement. The journal entry is creditors account debit, debenture holders account debit to capital reduction account, as the creditors and the debenture holders are the liabilities of the company. Liability shows credit balance. Whenever its value is reduced, it should be debited, and that is the gain. It should be credited to the capital reduction account. When any contingent liability arises and it is to be paid immediately, the following journal entry is been passed. Capital reduction account debit to liability payable account, then liability payable account debit to bank account. If there are any reconstruction expenses, then the capital reduction account should be debited, as that is the expense. And as the cash will go out, credit what goes out. If there is any balance in any reserve account, then it should be transferred to the capital reduction account. If there is any decrease in the value of the liability, the journal entry is liability account debit to capital reduction account. As the liability shows credit balance, whenever its value is reduced, it should be debited. And whenever its value increases, then the liability should be credited. If there is an increase in the value of an asset, then such an asset should be debited, because asset shows debit balance. Whenever its value increases, then the asset should be debited. Then lastly, write off all the fictitious assets, accumulated losses, and eliminate the overvaluation of assets by crediting the accounts concerned and debiting the capital reduction account. If any balance is left out in the capital reduction account, then it should be transferred to the capital reserve account. If you liked the video, then like, share and subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.